So I just want to know about your, first of all, what made you want to even come to LA?
What made me come to LA was the expand. You know, I understood, I went to Atlanta, I'm from Ohio, went to Atlanta, they came to here because there's more opportunity here. Obviously, you got people living in their cars here just to create an opportunity for their children, as you just spoke about a second ago. But here I noticed one thing that's a little bit different from everywhere else. This is the first place that I've seen where you can be homeless but have a bird's eye view of mansions.
Damn.
You ever thought of it like that? You downtown, you literally can see mansions as you're dead broke, asking for change. I always thought it was interesting here. I don't know if that's motivating or demoralizing.
So, A Wise Way, can you elaborate on your company and what is it about? What do you guys got going on?
Well, really, I've been mentoring since I was 14. So my first program was actually getting a lot of my friends to teach and help third graders with their homework. From there, I started understanding the right way to reach people is by giving them the right information. And who better to give the right information than someone that's studying? No matter how, if I start producing today, I'm not going to know more than what Yanni knows or what you guys know at producing. So why would I be the one to give people the information about producing? I don't know enough. How about we get the special people that do it on a daily basis to talk about it? So that's the premise of A Wise Way, just getting the people that know the most about it to speak about it to help kids. So it's just like a online mentorship. So that's really what the whole thing of it is. And
well, let me cut you off. Let me ask you a question. So that's where you at now, but kind of where you came from, because I mean, word on the street is you had a pretty big following on the music side, you know, some years ago back in Cleveland. So for people who don't know, you know what I'm saying, tell them where you started, what made you change and transition to the books and stuff.
Well, I found out that I wasn't actually in love with music. I was in love with the message behind the music. Because I was motivated by my older brother. His name is Michael. He actually ended my career, really. Because for him, I just wanted to be just like him. And when I was younger, I remember I was like maybe 6. He was opening up for Wu-Tang, and he would come home with shirts and all that. I just wanted to be just like him, playing basketball and everything. But I just know I was in love with the actual message. All my music had a message behind it that meant something. And for me, my goal was to have, I guess, him appreciate my music. I put it out to the world because he was incarcerated for like 13 years. So I felt like I was his representation. So let me represent right, like he represented. So what ended my career was he came home out of prison and we did a song together. And once we did a song called One Life, I was done. Once he appreciated my music, I'm like, there's nothing else for me to do. I wasn't doing it for anyone else. You know, that's why when I remember being home and somebody say, I ain't feeling your music or whatnot, it just didn't even mean anything. Like, you don't feel it, so what? It wasn't for you in the first place. If you like it, you like it. If you don't listen to it. You know, keep it pushing.
So you coming from music and you're a motivational speaker and you want to inspire people and you're just trying to get a message across.
Yeah.
And you have 3 books now. Can you tell me about the messages from your first book to your 3rd book and why is it inspiring?
Well, the reason why I first got into books, I didn't understand how important reading was. Because at first, I didn't care for reading, I'm going to be honest. But then I started thinking about a lifestyle. Like, for example, we take Yanni. You've been producing for how long?
Wherever.
So let's just say you've been producing for the last 20 years. And I told you to write a book about your production life and reduce it to 100 pages, right? What you're going to write about is the things that stand out in your life from the 20 years. The time you met Wayne, when you turned his back and you blew up and then you end up getting your mind. You're going to talk about that within those 100 pages. And then if I read that in 100 pages, I can learn the stuff you learned in 20 years. So I understand reading starts shortening your life. How can you really talk to Martin Luther King? You can't. But his autobiography is what's left. You can't talk to Malcolm X, but his autobiography is what is left. So I noticed that the reading is important so we can start picking up where they left off opposed to starting all over again. Why do we keep having the same problems that they had 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago? Because we're not picking up where they left off. We're starting all over again, time and time and time again. And that's the reason why I wanted to put out books in the short form. Because just like you just said a second ago, you know, I don't even know if I'm going to read that. That's why it's 40 pages. And it's easy read. You can read this in one sitting. And I cut off all the fat. Instead of having a 300-page book that you pick that up, don't nobody want to read that. I don't even want to read it. But if I cut off all the fat and get straight to the point, then I know people will want to read it because you can digest it while you even on the toilet.
That make a lot of
Question, what is your overall goal, I guess, like, in the next 5 years, where do you see your company?
Where I see the company, what we want to do is build a database of wisdom and honesty. Wisdom and teaching people the right way. As I said, have you ever noticed you go on Google to search out something and you have to siphon through a lot of stuff to get to the real information?
Yep.
We're pretty much siphoning out all the fake information because we're talking to Yanni, we're talking to Duke, we're talking to Alice, we're talking to the people that really do it. So we're siphoning out all the bull crap. But what I see ourselves in 5 years is creating a database, and also we've been working with a guy named, I don't want to say his name, but he's creating a school. And we're working on creating that as well. And just creating all these platforms for people to understand wisdom and righteousness. And I was just even, I'm about to deviate, but I just started understanding a lot of things has to be done in order. And that was what I was making a mistake on. Like I was obviously in Ohio, I had turkeys, I was giving out turkeys, I was giving out backpacks, I was giving out bikes, I'm having Easter egg hunts. I'm doing absolutely everything to help our community, but I was doing it out of order. If you're trying to get your goals, map them out, and the best way to do so is from back to forward. If you say you want to be this big hip-hop star, for example, already be there. You're already there mentally, and track your steps back to where you are now so you know how to move forward. That's the best advice I can give. I did the radio interview, but I didn't get a chance to elaborate on things that I would like. Like I felt like the radio interview was shortened, which it was, but there was some technical difficulties. But it's a lot of things that I wanted to cover in order to help our people. Like I was even saying in the interview, I was doing things out of order for our communities. First I was going home, the turkey drives. Y'all all know what I was doing. Turkey drives, backpack giveaways, coat drives, devoting all this time to the Boys and Girls Club. But at the same time, my younger brother is failing. At the same time, my family is struggling. Like I remember my dad looking me in the face during the time of the turkey giveaway and asking for a turkey. And I told him no. I was like, no, Dad, we don't need it. We're not struggling like other people are. We're not struggling like the homeless. We're not struggling like these type of people. So I looked my dad in the face and told him he can't have anything because I'm giving it to somebody else. That's out of order. You cannot do these things out of order because it's detrimental to your family. You have to first look at your situation. You have to look at how are you taking care of yourself. You got to look at how can you take care of your generation, your kids, your mother, your father, the people around you, the people in your circle. And from there, then you go to your community. From there, you keep expanding out, but you got to start with yourself. And that's one of the hardest life lessons that I had to learn. Take it from me. You know me. I've been giving back to the community and devoting my life to the community since 13. But the real thing is you cannot help somebody until you help yourself. The broke cannot help the broke. You have to get somewhere and then be able to give back. Like, for example, this may offend y'all or offend some people. Look at, for example, our family. We gave $25 a week to the church. $25 a week. Every week. That's $100 a month. Times 10. It's $1,000. Let's just say $1,200 a year. Times 10 years. That's $12,000. Plus another 8 years. That's $20,000 from the time I was born to when I was 18. We graduated from high school and ain't get a dime to go into the real world. You cannot operate that way. And I have nothing against, obviously, church or anything like that. This is just misguided information. You cannot fund something and skip over your family. You cannot fund something and skip over your kids. This is ignorance. You cannot do it. We help building everything but ourselves. And that's why we stand broke. The reason why you don't know how to get up out your situation because you was never taught. Because the person that could teach you had never made it out their situation. I look at my mom, I look at my dad, and I love them. but they're not in positions or ever made it to a position where I wanted to see myself. But these are the people that's teaching me. I spent 18 years up under one teaching, 18 years up under a community of teaching, where I wanted to see myself further than everybody in the community. Now, who gonna give me that advice? Who gonna tell me how to make it out of a situation that they never made it out of? Only thing they can tell you is the mistakes that they made and some out-of-the-box theory on how you can make it, but they don't know, because if they would have took that theory, they would have made it. They got too much fear to even do it on their own, but they passing that along to you. And how can they not pass along that same fear? Matter of fact, have you ever told somebody an idea? As soon as you get to telling them an idea, they're going to start throwing everything that could happen. Like, I'm about to move out to California. You know it's gangs out there. You know you might get killed out there. Have you ever been to California? No, but then keep that to yourself. I don't even have time to entertain the negativity that somebody can bring us or bring me, because I got laser sharp focus on this success. Whatever I need to do to get us out of these situations is what I'm going to do. And I'm just trying to give you this information because I came from Massillon, I went to Atlanta, and now I'm out here in LA. I'm able to talk to some of these millionaires and 100 millionaires. I'm able to hang out with Denzel Washington. I'm able to hang out with Jamie Foxx. I'm able to hang out with, whether it be Dwayne Martin or a whole bunch of these celebrities that some people may idolize. I don't. But what I get out of it is the information that they're able to give. Like, for example, I thought $100,000 is real money. I thought $1 million is real money, which it is under certain circumstances, until I went to Jamie Foxx's house. Their guest house is bigger than the houses at Glenmore. These cats won't even die in Jackson. They won't even die in Perry, in North Canton, and in these areas that we believe is, oh yeah, man, I want to live there. And I'm not shooting down nobody. I'm just being real. They won't even die there. But this is our goals. This is our dreams. This is our aspirations. It's too small. It's too small mentally. And you keep believing, well, I'm going to just grind. Like the rappers. And I rap. You keep thinking, oh, I'm going to stay in Massillon. I'm going to get popping. I'm going to stay in Canton. I'm going to get popping. Newsflash, you is not popping as long as you stay there. Take this from me. Only people that I know that lived off the music is me and Stally. And this is no shots. I was paying my rent with my music. It's not too many people that can say that. But we keep dreaming so small. You cannot do that. Stop limiting yourself. Stop being around people that keep shooting down your dreams. Stop being around people that's trying to discourage you. Stop chasing women in order to let me just get something off tonight. No, every hour that you place into something that's not your goals is deviating. Point blank, period. Whether you chasing this man, I know some people that slept with so many women they can't even remember somebody's name. Now tell me that wasn't a waste of a night. Tell me that wasn't a waste of time. Tell me that wasn't a waste of life. You don't even remember her name, let alone how it felt, let alone anything else. You don't even remember. So, and then you claim you want to get these goals. You gotta be serious about this type of stuff. For real. Because as I said, I thought money was $100,000, $1 million, and don't let me I don't want you believing that I just care about money like that. But for example, I was around a circle, was it 3 days ago now? And everybody at the circle was worth more than 20 million. I'm the brokest guy there by far. And you know what they was telling me? They know a family that gets 10 cents per dollar that the Dominican Republic prints. They know a family that owns 40% of the roads in the country. They know a family that owns the whole Nikki Beach, the whole South Beach. Are you serious? You serious? And I'm still sitting here trying to figure out a way to live, how to pay my rent, because we're thinking too small. But you got to understand, you have to have self-preservation first. You have to. You have to look at what it is that you're trying to do. And you got to maximize yourself. You got to understand who you are, because if you do not understand who you are, you're not going to be able to help anyone else. Period. Because you only can pass down what you learn. and what you learn, look at the position that they was in. Is you satisfied? It's just like a job. If you're not satisfied with where your boss is, if you couldn't see yourself having that particular job or happy with at the stature of your boss, you need to get out of there, because you can never exceed that. As long as you're working in that company, you can never exceed your boss. Come on, you gotta be realistic. We have to be realistic with our thought process. I'm venting here because I've been traveling and learning a lot, and I just want to share this information because you may never get a chance to come out to LA. You may never get a chance to make your own company or start your own company or any. I'm trying to motivate those who don't know. From the music to business to everything. Y'all know that I work hard and I've been trying to do these things to help our community, but I do have to reorganize my life. I have to start looking at myself, my family, my community. It's an order. I keep helping the community. I was helping everybody and skipping myself and skipping my family. That's not realistic, man. Like, you can even sit back and look at how you spend your money. I know people that got 30 pairs of Jordans and don't got life insurance, don't got health insurance. If you die, then what? Who gonna take care of that? You just gonna leave your family with that burden? My father passed away and he had life insurance, but not enough to even cover the funeral. Right now, we don't know how we're going to cover the rest of the funeral. This is real life. You have to look at the bigger picture of it all. People going to sit back and claim that they'll give everything for somebody else. That is a lie. You cannot say you care like, oh, I'm going to put that person's life over mine. People be like, I just care about the homeless. I'll put the homeless, I care about the homeless. Yeah, you may care, but not to the extent that you claim you do. As long as you sleeping on that bed and you got an open living room and you don't got no homeless people living in there, you don't care to the extent that you claim you do. It's impossible. You cannot have the emotions for everybody suffering. If that's the case, you cared about Hurricane Katrina. Did you go down to help that out? You care about Haiti. Did you go down to help it out? I didn't. I'm being honest. I didn't send $1 to Haiti. I didn't send $1 to Hurricane Katrina. I don't even believe I said a prayer. I'm being honest. But I truly do want to help the community. I truly want to help people. But I was lost on figuring out how. I was mobilized. I'm sitting here giving out turkeys. I'm sitting here giving out coats. I'm sitting here having Easter egg hunts. And I really believe that I'm helping. But I'm not. I'm mobilizing a situation. Everybody, they went home, they ate that turkey, they may have said thanks, and then that was it. After a week, that meal is long gone. That meal is long gone. You have to start putting in things to organize the situation. Like taking out time with your kids. For example, you even see it at the Boys and Girls Club now. When do men take out time with their kids? For the most part. Flag football season, their coach, if their son is good. Beyond that, we see a lot of missing dads in our communities. When their son is doing well in sports, they'll pop back up. When it's something that got to do with something that's you want to claim, they'll pop back up. Their son got honor roll, they'll pop back up. But what happened during the time of them getting there, when the women was doing all the work? We have a lot of great women. But men, I'm not trying to demean us or whatnot, but we got to pick up some of the slack. You can't just pop up because your son is a good running back. You just can't pop up because your son just got a 4.0 or got an award. You got to be there all the time. And I'm just learning things on a different level. You have to look at the community structure. You need to be there for your kids. If you're a father, you need to be there for your son or daughter. The moms is there. People ain't too much saying I don't got my mom. They keep saying I don't got my dad. And these structures just keep breaking down the community. So I'm out here mentoring somebody else's kid because their dad ain't there. Now, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying I can't be their dad and their older brother too. I'm supposed to just help guide you there. I can't do it all. You can't do it all by yourself. We're supposed to be sticking together as one, and that don't happen because you don't understand who you must help first, which is yourself, before you can help somebody else. Or you getting out there with no direction, and that's what's been happening. We get out there, we think we going somewhere, but you don't got the right map. You don't got the right direction because you don't know who you are. So you're trying to teach somebody else who they are when you don't know who you are. Man, it's just this vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle. Like my boy, I was just telling Bus a second ago. He was like, he got into that bike accident. And everybody said, man, he got so much love. Or people was visiting the hospital. People was caring. People was, showing him love. And I was like, was they really showing you love to the heart, bro? Because, I talk to you every day or, 3 times a week. Was they really showing you love? He was like, people just show, they want to just have a good conversation with you and they make sure you're all right. I said, that's respectable. But let's just get down to the real. If you needed help on your medical bills, which I know you do, can you get any help? Can you? When it came down to my father's funeral, could we really get some help from people? And I'm not trying to sound grim. I'm just trying to put things in a real perspective. When you was going through the biggest thing you went through, how many people could you truly call? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't call that many people. You got a small circle. So you must help that same circle first of the people that you can call. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to keep saying that. I just wanted to make these points because I keep seeing things like I'll post something on, like whether my brother, for example, Mike, he just posted, he'll post about Game Speed Athletics, helping kids. May get 5, 6 likes, 7 likes. He posts something about a picture with a celebrity, 100 likes. Me, I post something about my book and trying to help the community, 30 likes. I post a picture with Jamie Foxx, 400 likes. This doesn't even make sense. But this is the way that we are. And I'm just trying my best, whether it's doing these radio interviews or traveling or talking to these people. I'm doing my best to try and help us as a whole people. And I'm taking it one step at a time. So I'm just finding out that you have to start with yourself first. Then you got to go to your family. Then you got to keep going out, your circle, all those different things to build out. And that's how you can rebuild a community. Like I remember talking to some Armenians and some Jewish people, right? And they were saying how they built their families or how they built their communities. What they'll do is 3 of them, let's just say they start with 3. 3 of them will get a studio apartment. Say it's $1,000 hypothetically. 3 of them will get a studio apartment and they all live in there. 1 big room, and they all get a job. Let's just say they get jobs at McDonald's. They make $2,000 a month apiece, $6,000. Their expenses is $1,500. So what they do is take that money at the end of the year, and they'll buy the place that they're staying in. Then they'll move next door and bring in 4 more people. Then they'll buy the house next door again, and they'll bring in 4 more people. And they keep recycling this till they own the whole block. Then you know what happened when they got 4 houses? They create a corner store that they can shop at for a certain price, and they charge everybody else more. They do the same things with banks. This is what they told me from their mouth to my ears. Yeah, we'll start a bank and we'll give our people loans at 0% interest. Well, we'll charge everybody else 10%, 15%, 7%. Are you getting charged interest? Yeah, percentage. But we'll charge the people that in our community, our family, or we'll charge them nothing. 0%. Just pay it back whenever you get it. And we have another loan for you. I'm just using this as an example. This is the way of thinking people have had in order to be successful and get out of their predicament. Because if you don't start thinking outside the box, only thing you can know is what you was taught before you, what your parents gave you, what your community gave you. And if anybody in that community or your parents you see yourself being furthered in, then that means you got to completely abandon the thought process that they gave you. The thought process that they gave you. It's just that simple. I don't be meaning to keep going on like this. I just care. I just truly want to help people. All y'all been knowing me my whole life. A lot of you, whether you're watching this and you don't know me or whether you can do any research on me, you know I've been caring about the community since I started. From the music to everything, I always gave back. A lot of the artists in Maslin Canton, I gave them their first shows. A lot. I never asked for nothing in return. A lot of this type of stuff, you know I care. So I care so much, I'm trying to give you this information too. I'm trying to give you game. If you do not understand yourself, good luck with success. If you don't understand markets, good luck with success. If you don't understand even how to write a business plan or start your company, good luck with success. It's not going to happen. I'm generalizing. There is, somebody can hit the lottery every once in a while. But on a general basis, it's not going to happen. It don't happen like that. So that's just my words. Obviously it's right after this radio interview. I just wanted to say more. And I didn't get a chance to say more during the radio interview because it was shortened. So I just wanted to make sure everybody get the right information. Understand who you are. Help your family, help your community, help everybody you can help. But know who you are first before you start putting yourself out there to help somebody else. Or else you can be being more detrimental than helpful. It's that simple.